Uh, Hello, folks. Here we are again in Chateau de Garland, the place to be, the place that is happening. And you see, we got a special guest tonight. So we have our oldest son, Jacob, here to talk about all things teenage life, right?
Okay.
So our point is to embarrass him, maybe make him pee himself.
Well, let's not do that.
But we've got an interesting show lined up for you this evening. So we'd like to invite you in with us in our studio, aka the living room and dining room this time, because our office is a little hot, right?
Yeah.
We may be in this little setup through August and maybe part of September until things start to cool down. Our office is a little warm. So we do have a little background audience too. We may have to ask Allie to come show her face on the screen. And I think she just beat herself just now. So let's get to it. All right. So here we are.
Yep.
Jacob Lane, 15 years old, most eligible bachelor in Garland.
Facts.
By
By the way, who does he look like? Which of us? Depends on who they know.
Yeah.
If people know Bobby better, then they say looks like Bobby. If they know me better, they say looks like me. You're a good mixture.
It's a 50-50 split. I actually had something to do with you.
You can't wear your hat like that because I can't see your face.
Oh, well, this chair is like messing with my head. It's backwards.
Sit up straight.
All right, so Tiff,
nice.
let's get into it.
No, you go first.
Okay?
Yeah.
All right, so Jacob, here we go.
Yep.
What's it like being the oldest son of Bobby and Tiffany Clary?
Honest. This is all honesty here.
Honesty. Okay.
Honesty, yeah. Nothing's off limits.
Okay.
We're not gonna destroy you.
And we
okay?
don't get mad.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So
Carry
what's
on.
it like being the oldest son of Bobby and Tiffany?
I mean, it has its perks. Being the oldest, I get like special treatment sometimes.
Special treatment, like you pretty much live on your own.
Yeah.
So we have a little apartment type setup, and Jacob actually gets to stay over there a lot, and it's right next door, so it's not like we're sending him off, 15, 20 miles from the house or anything like that.
Yes,
but,
they do. Don't let them
but to be 15, this kid is actually pretty independent. Like, really, he only needs minimal guidance from us.
Other than cleaning his room. Like,
Oh, yeah. So I said minimal.
like-
I didn't say he wasn't completely free.
have you been there for a minute?
No, I choose not to go
Don't
in there.
go.
I mean, it's not that bad. It's livable in there.
I did have to tell you for like 3 weeks to throw the pizza in the pizza box away.
Okay, yeah, that was kind of gross.
It's
That
livable.
pizza had fur on it.
It did.
It grossed me out when I opened the box. Like, I thought the whole time the smell was like me or my dirty clothes. And then I threw the pizza box away and it smelled like great in there for the next week.
So let me tell you a quick story that's similar to that. So when I was in the 5th grade, I always had this thing where I would take something from the lunchroom. Like every day I wouldn't finish my whole lunch because,
You didn't know if you were going to get dinner?
no, just go figure, I would spend most of my time talking
Oh, wow.
instead of eating.
I'd have never guessed.
Shocking.
So I would spend a lot of my time talking at the lunch table. And so comedy was my thing. I always had to make everybody laugh. So I wouldn't finish my lunch and I would take something with me. And most of the time, the teacher wouldn't let me bring it back into class. So I brought a chocolate milk and put it in my locker and waited till the end of school. All right. And so I had done this several times before and it was always just fine. All right. So I did this and we went on Thanksgiving break.
Oh.
And we came back
And you
You
left
know,
it in your
we
locker
were
the
off
whole time?
Thursday, Friday, and then came back Monday. And actually, it was Christmas break.
Oh gosh.
So it was like from just before Christmas till after the first of the year. And we came in, and the hallway was reeking.
Ew.
And I had forgotten. I had completely forgotten about it.
That's disgusting.
And they started making everybody from every class clean out their lockers. They were trying to find this smell. And it ended up being a chocolate milk that was growing like a chia pet in my locker.
That's disgusting.
So nasty.
I
never did that again.
So you're the kid that ruined it for everybody.
Yeah.
Okay, anyways, back to Jacob.
So Jacob pretty well lives on his own. Got a job, got a great job, making good money, and works almost all the hours that he wants to work, right?
Yeah. Some more than I would like.
So explain your job to us. Like we'll get into more of the living situation and stuff like that, but explain your job. What do you do?
A lot.
Speak up.
Cut like 1,000 vegetables a day at minimum. Once we actually open up, then I'm expediting, which sounds retarded. I hate saying that. I hate saying that so much. But so I just grab the plate once the food is done cooking, plate it, clean the nasty stuff off the rim of the plate, and then make sure it goes to the right table.
So you have to make sure the presentation is good.
Yeah,
So
make
when
sure
the
presentation
when the
is
wait
good.
staff comes and gets it, you have to make sure that it's right.
Yeah.
That the order matches the ticket.
So
Yeah.
So if it's
essentially,
not right at
it's
the seller,
Jacob's.
it's him, not your wait staff.
It's Jacob.
Don't blame me. It's probably my fault, but don't blame me.
Uh-oh.
All right, so you've been working there since the restaurant opened. So obviously he works at the cellar.
Yeah.
So if there's any complaints about the food, it's not all Reggie.
not all
Sometimes
Reggie.
it's Jacob.
It is sometimes me. Actually, a lot of the time me. If you get food that tastes like it's been in a microwave, it's probably my fault because I left it under the heat lamp for too long. So
Okay, all right. So the secrets are coming out,
yeah,
right? So anyway, Jacob is a very, very hard worker. He's learned tremendously from the things that I've tried to instill in him. So it's really unheard of and really uncommon for a teenager to have the work ethic that he does, to be able to go in and just kill it. And it's not that bad, right?
no, not really.
Because you've done it the whole time.
Yeah,
And it's not like he went from being lazy and no good, right? You've had
No,
to work around the house.
Well, yeah.
And
taught
like,
you.
Jacob's always been a little worker bee. Like he started washing dishes when he was like 4.
yeah.
Is when I gave him that chore. But I didn't know that like, and I'm not what's the word? None of my other kids are less than him because I'm saying this.
No, I'm just.
I
special.
just didn't
saying.
know how mature he was for his age that he could properly wash the dishes at 4. Where Allie, gosh,
We'll get to your episode.
yeah. But I mean, I didn't know. So when the other kids came along, I'm like, okay, well, 4 is a good dishwashing age. It's not. It's not.
Not for
Dude
all.
just now washes dishes.
Every kid is different.
Yes,
Every-
very different.
Every personality is different, and but Jacob, you've done incredibly well. You work hard, and you make pretty good decisions with your money.
Yeah, with my money, kind of.
So there's a couple times, and we've all made mistakes, but there's a couple times where I could have said, yeah, I might not have done that, but you live and learn.
Right.
And when you've got stuff on the line, or you see that things don't turn out well, then you think, shoot, I could have done that different, right?
Yep.
So Jacob works really hard. We're proud of him in that respect. And I've just done my best to try to teach him to outwork any 3 people in the room. Just so you always have a job.
Yeah.
You always have job security. If you work hard, and it's not that you're better than anybody, but you have more effort.
Okay,
Yeah.
questions. We gotta get to questions. We're gonna
Okay.
run out of time.
Well, I like to pump him up a little bit before
Yeah,
we
you
tear
know,
him
maybe
down.
I'll
His
with
see
these
his
his
questions.
head is gonna like push us out of the screen. Gonna get the
All right.
big head.
So you can't lie because this is almost like being in court.
All
Right?
right.
Let's see. Who's your favorite? Is it mom or dad?
It depends on the day. If you're at work, mom's my favorite. Any day you work, mom's my favorite. Because normally you don't come home in the greatest mood. Some days you're in a good mood. It's rare, but some days you're in a good mood when you come home from work. Saturdays, most of the time I'm working. But before I go to work, it's a good 50-50. Sundays, it depends on what we're doing. If I want a friend to come over, I go to mom. Immediately go to mom. And just pray she doesn't say, ask your dad. If I just have stuff to do around the house, you're usually my favorite then because you like help me do it. Or you yell at me until it's done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yelling.
Not really yelling.
Like, okay,
Sometimes,
so
yeah.
I'm partially deaf, so I speak
That's
loud.
True. That is
You
true.
speak real loud.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm partially deaf, and I have to make sure that people hear me, and I can't tell how loud I am.
Okay.
And I've been a very loud person, so like most of my life. Judah and Joshua, same way. They're just loud
Wide
all the
open.
time.
For sure.
Oh Lord Jesus.
So let's see.
I got one. So who's your favorite sibling? And you can't say Allie just because she's in here.
Oh, no,
listening.
definitely Judah. Judah, hands down.
Why
Judah is my
why
favorite.
is Judah your favorite sibling?
Me and Judah just get along the best. When did me and Judah argue?
Never.
But-
And he's your snuggle buddy.
Right.
And yeah, Judah's like, he's like a little heater. If I'm cold, I just grab that kid and it goes up like 30 degrees.
That's like your dad. He's the same way.
So you and Judah are a lot alike because y'all are both witty,
Yeah. Yep.
and like you guys have quips that just never really want to stop. And your mom and Allie are not as quick on their feet.
We know. I'm good
You
for
guys
like
can
2
destroy
a year. 2 a year.
Yeah, she'll get a couple.
So you and Judah can just destroy your mom and Allie when it comes to just a battle of wits and being on the fly. So in the whole respect of being able to ask you questions.
Oh gosh.
What are your plans?
I was gonna ask that. Yeah.
What are your plans for the next 2 to 5 years?
Okay, so you're going in this year. He's homeschooled, y'all, so it's junior/senior year.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm thinking after I graduate, it'll be May.
Hopefully.
Hopefully I don't have to wait till like September or whenever the next one is. But I'm shooting for May graduation, and then after that, I'm gonna go to TCAT for like auto mechanics because I like working on stuff,
Okay.
and it would just teach me more about what I already kind of know a little bit about. And then I'll get out of that by around my 18th birthday because it's usually like a 1.5-year program. Sometimes 2 years, whatever. I'll be 18. And then I get to decide whether I want to go to college for something or if I just want to get a job where I can start out making decent money because I've already been through a program about it. I can get a job in a shop somewhere and be good.
Right. So a lot of times, us adults, we ask questions like, "Hey, what do you want to do when you grow up?" Because we're still looking for ideas.
Yeah, right.
Like, what I'm doing's not satisfying me, so maybe this kid's got the answer, right?
Only he's trying to follow in your footsteps, so that doesn't
so-
really work out.
Now we've been back and forth just a little bit. You haven't always wanted to be a mechanic. you've kind of said, well, I really don't know. Maybe
Mhm.
military, maybe nursing, maybe this, maybe that.
I have kind of recently thought about like being a firefighter because they make good money, like
Not
decent.
great.
They make decent.
They
money.
make okay money.
They make decent money.
You notice that most firefighters
Have a second job.
have a second job. They have a part-time job, either
See,
mowing
but then
lawns,
I could
landscaping,
be-
something.
I could be a firefighter.
And you
have
could
an-
be a part of our business. You could join the family business.
Probably not.
We'll teach this kid how to write insurance policies and do 401k rollovers.
That sounds super boring.
But you're good with numbers.
No, but I could be a firefighter and then have a nice shop at my house and do like mechanic work on the side.
Yeah.
And
It's
get
good
cash out of
aspirations.
Yeah.
Good
that's
aspirations. I like it.
Okay, so
I'm
what
not
about?
opposed to that.
So let's change the subject because we did say you are available, bachelor. Are there any girls in your sights?
Right now, not a single one. No,
Oh, okay.
I'm not looking to date anybody until I'm at least 16.
That's only a couple months away.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
not
but-
long.
Yeah, he's really taking a break. He's really holding
Oh
off,
yeah,
folks.
for sure, for sure. Ow, crap! Ow, crap! Ow, bro! Ow!
I didn't touch him, I swear.
Oh, dude, that hurts so bad. Oh my god. Ow.
We love live TV, folks. This kid gets a cramp right in the middle of it, right?
Dude, that hurts so bad.
Okay, so let's see. So
Made my toes
there's
go.
no girls in your sights.
No.
So other
and
than work, what is life about right now? Dirt bikes?
Dirt bikes in my truck.
Oh, truck.
of course,
Truck.
the teenage years are always full of trucks and how far I can go on a tank of gas, right?
Not far enough, truck.
Not far in that truck.
No.
Also got to
No.
make like a 25-point turn.
Gosh, the turning radius in that truck is so bad. I feel like I'm driving a school bus.
But you got to think that you're blessed because you didn't have to buy that truck from
I
me.
did not.
We were able to give you that truck,
Yeah.
and you just want to do a few things to it. So again, another wise decision. Instead of trying to say, "Oh well, I want the same truck that one of my friends has," you've actually taken ownership of the truck, and you keep it clean.
Yeah.
You make sure that that your desires for the truck, you're saving the money to not borrow the money for the truck,
Right.
and fix it up as you go. Instead of saying, "No, before I drive this thing, I want it to be, the top notch truck of town, where everybody's looking at me," right?
Right. I don't want to have the best truck. I mean, it'd be nice, but
You
that's
always
not my.
want it.
That's not my goal. My goal is to just like, you hear my truck coming down the road, and you're like, "Crap, there he is." That's Jacob
We
Clay.
can already though. It already has like a distinct sound.
Yeah, we know we can hear you next door when the truck cranks.
Yeah.
And
If it cranks.
it's not
Always cranks.
it's not loud, it's not annoying, but we can hear it, and we know when you're moving. We know where you're going and what you're doing.
Yeah.
And so if you had to compare us to other parents, since we don't have Life 360 on your phone,
Oh, top notch.
how do you compare us to the trust level that we have for you as opposed to your buddies?
Well, given I've given you multiple reasons not to trust me, I'd say it's pretty high. Like, I have friends that have never done a thing wrong in their life and have Life 360. One is 18
Right?
and still has Life 360 and has to ask if he can go places still.
So we're pretty fair when it comes to punishment, and if you break trust, we're pretty fair when it comes to building the trust back,
Oh, for sure.
right? So what would you say to your friends out there that if they just happen to watch an old person podcast, what would you say to your friends that they need? What kind of relationship would you say that you have with your parents, and what would you give them for advice on their relationship with their parents? I know this seems like a lot.
It's kind of a lot. My brain has small capacity. I think I have a pretty good relationship with my parents. Like, I see you maybe once a week because I sleep over there all the time, and then I don't get off work until
We all work
9:30.
different shifts.
Well,
Kind of.
Yeah.
I have 4 jobs, and
Facts.
so the 4 jobs that I have and the schedule that I run, I do my best to spend time with you guys.
Right.
But you're always working too.
I mean,
And
I got
your
91 hours in 2 weeks.
Your weekends
That's cool.
are like mainly when I'm off of my everyday full-time job,
Yeah.
not just my other 3 part-time jobs.
Okay, anyways, back to relationship with your parents because I'm anxious.
You want me to get to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just sitting here
Okay.
patiently waiting.
I'd say we have a good relationship. We don't get into fights hardly ever. Most of the time, it's just me telling you like stupid things I've done, just because I feel like telling you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're like, why? Why did you do this? I don't know, because I wanted to. Well, that's not a very good way to live your life. But I do it anyway.
So
I'm
have
gonna
a
pray for
good
you.
line of communication.
Yeah, for sure.
I like it that way though because I want to know, even if you get into crap that you're not supposed to, I want to know that you can still come to me and tell me, hey mom, I screwed up. I know I screwed up.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
For sure.
So along that lines though, what's it like, and I kind of know because I grew up the same way, but what's it like growing up having a dad as a pastor, preacher?
Why'd you stutter so long to get that
Because I
out?
didn't know if I
was
wanted
like-
to say pastor or preacher.
Well,
Still,
I'm
let's say both.
Okay, what's it like having a preacher dad, dude?
I don't know. Everybody just expects me to be a little angel, and it's kind of annoying.
Actually,
Like,
have you met
adults-
preachers' kids before?
Adults, no, but like kids my age, they're like, "Your dad's a preacher?" Yeah. Oh, so you're a good kid? Sure. Yeah, I'm a great kid. I am a great kid. I don't do anything wrong.
Just let them believe it.
Yeah, right. I'm a great kid.
I was a great pastor's kid.
Bull
Even
crap.
Alex laughed. Okay, so it's not a goal to be a preacher's kid and to be bad, but I think people do expect preacher's kids, and I feel like you should be held to a higher standard because you know better.
Yep.
You know right
That's-
from wrong. You've been
You've been taught
taught it.
better.
It's been
That's
drilled
what I
in
was
your
gonna
head your
say.
whole
Like,
life.
you do one thing wrong. I'm not gonna say like big, small, whatever. You do something wrong, and somebody else does the same thing. It's
They're
not
gonna
a good.
judge you
It's
harder
not
for
gonna.
it.
It's not a good thing that they did it, but everybody focuses that I did it
Right.
because my dad's a preacher.
So you gotta live your life like people's watching you.
Yeah.
Yep, you got to think about that every moment. No matter who you are, whether you're a preacher's kid or not,
Right.
you really, like, the conscience has gone out the window. Like, there's very few people that think, oh, well, my parents are going to find out about this. So when I was a kid and I was running around, especially your age, when I was out running around, like, we didn't have cell phones. And my parents knew what I did
Yes.
before I got home.
Yep.
That's scary.
And the network of parents and interaction and involvement was like crazy to think about where they were. Well, now it's just like, like all the people our age that have kids, Jacob's age, it just seems like they're detached.
Yeah, they
Like,
are.
Or they think, oh, well, we survived, they'll be fine. And then when the history repeats itself,
Then they're like, oh my gosh, my kid did that.
and it's kind of a 50-50. Like, some of them are disappointed. The other ones are like, yeah, well, I did it. And then they let their kids continue to go down a terrible path that they did, allowing them to go through the same mistakes and allowing them to go through hardships that they wouldn't have to. So what we do and how we discipline you and how we communicate with you and the relationship that we have with you is that we would hope that you wouldn't just see our mistakes and our shortcomings as comedy, but see that, hey, this could really benefit me for the rest of my life. That if I stay away from doing that, I have a better chance because I won't lose time off work think about the parents that have been arrested before
Yeah.
and lost time from work or lost their job and had to start all over with that on their record.
Yeah.
And so you think the consequences of those things will follow you. And that's what we try to push on you. Like, we do expect better than everybody else. We do hold you to a higher standard, but it's not because we're pastors of a church, but it's because right from wrong, and we expect you to consider the outcome and to look at the situation and go, nah, I can make a better decision here.
Right. Okay.
And not have to experience the heartache.
So we got to wrap it up, but last question. Okay. So us as parents, what can we do?
Here we go.
What can we do better? In what areas can we work harder? What things can we fix? From your eyes.
I don't know.
You're on the spot, man.
I mean, that's not something I just lay in my bed and think about. Like,
yes, it is.
I wish my parents did this better.
Well, I guess that's a good thing.
Be honest. How many of your friends would love to have this conversation with their parents? To be able to sit down and say, you know what, I wish you would react this way, or I wish you would do this better. And be honest. And then you're not going to be punished for it. That we're seriously allowing you to have the opportunity to take the time and say, you know what, I didn't like the way this went, or what if you responded better in this way? Your friends might actually watch this episode and think, wow.
Oh, Brady's definitely going to watch this.
Wow. Like, wait a minute. What if I had that kind of communication and relationship with my parents? This is your time to be the envy of the world.
But we can't have silence. So.
I don't know. I mean, because there's not anything that was like...
That's it. Cut. I'm going to take it. I'm going to take just that. Like, there's no way we can improve. We are killer parents, babe. Yes.
I mean, like,
we have done it.
Really, anytime I've gotten mad at either one of you, it was my fault.
Woo-wee.
Wow.
Like,
Wow.
So, I don't know.
Golly. I got that on video, so
Yeah.
we have that 100%.
I mean,
I
like,
love your honesty.
I know when I'm doing something I'm not supposed to. Like, if my parents find out about this, I am screwed. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that is some wisdom that you can share with your friends. Look, think about it. Have a conscience that if your parents find out about what you're about to do, just think, are you screwed or are you not?
Oh, yeah, that's like the thought process that goes through my head. Like, Brady says something. He's like, dude, we should do this. And I'm like,
it's being grounded for a month worth it.
exactly. Like,
all right.
There was a guy down the road earlier with a dirt bike. We saw it when we went to Fast Times. And I was like, that's a good looking dirt bike. We should get our bikes and ride down there and talk to the guy. And he was like, didn't your parents say we can't ride anymore? And I was like, oh.
Oh,
It'll be okay. It'll be okay.
Good job, Brady. Good job.
But y'all
Brady.
did it anyway?
Yeah, we did it anyways. We went down there. I rode a wheelie past like the girl that was right there. She was kind of hot.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey.
So, you just told us that that there were no girls in your sights, but you're constantly conscious of them being there.
Oh, I know they're there. I just wouldn't want to date anybody.
Okay. We want to make sure we had a chance to clear that up too.
Lord Jesus.
All right, so some of it seemed a little random. Some of it, I hope that it benefits you to see where we are in honesty and communication with our kids.
Actually, our whole family is built on randomness anyways.
It is.
Yeah.
But we hope this episode really benefits those listening. If you can share this with your friends and those that have teenage and under kids that are maybe struggling in the communication department, watch this video and share it with them, and then maybe somebody somewhere can benefit from this.
Because for real, communication is key. Like, even though he tells me things a lot of times that he knows I'm going to get upset with, he still tells me.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like communication is key. It keeps you both level-headed and yeah.
Right. You can minimize the explosion of when something happens.
So next week, are we going to interview Allie?
Oh, you
Yes.
definitely should.
Yes. We're going to bring Allie on next week. and so she will be in the chair of attention, and
Yes.
so she's had a preview, so she's had a free opportunity to kind of see what she's going to have to go through. This was completely blindsiding Jacob.
Yeah,
But
Mom
you
just
can-
told me at church today. She was like, "Hey, don't plan on doing anything after 7:30. You're doing a podcast." I was
Sometimes
like,
that's
I didn't
best.
sign that contract.
But we can do that with him
Yeah.
because he's like you. He's good on the
If
fly.
we would have told him ahead of time, he would have amped out. He'd have been at a friend's house,
Oh,
or
for sure.
he would have tried to schedule to be at work today.
Oh, I definitely would have.
Yeah,
I would
all
have
right.
gotten my boss. today.
So we thank you, folks. Thank you very much for watching. We love you all. We thank the comments. We thank you for your likes, your views. We thank you for everything that you do to help make this podcast successful. So we ask that you just continue to watch, share with your friends, and invite more along the way. So here we are, and good night.